We may well have different takeouts, which I think is the most important probably, but to share. Last year we did this and we just both talked and covered probably some of the same things and some different things. I guess I just was sitting here downloading the day really in my mind, and the themes that came to me were the first thing that came to me was it all starts with context, which Norman talked about. And I think there was a conversation that in some ways VUCA has always been here. You know, there's always been change, there's always been volatility, complexity, but maybe some of the frameworks that we've held dear, potentially as traditionalists, are breaking down, and we need support to change that. We talked about shifting context, shifting mindsets, shifting states of being. We experienced wisdom of the heart, changing the way that we see things, open up differently. Linked to wisdom of the heart was the beingness of perhaps the leader and an organization, and linked to that the mindful leader. Linked to that development theory that Henri took us through, and linked to that we explored some of the impact of development theory on political figures. When I was thinking of development theory, it also, one of the themes that we talked about today was actually what makes us human. Someone questioned that. And the ability to make meaning in what we do, which then of course linked to purpose that Simon covered in the purpose economy, and the idea of a moral and strategic compass. The purpose piece of course came up in the millennials piece, that they seek very much purpose in organizations and want to understand how an organization contributes. And a nice theme I heard at the end of that piece was this idea of co-responsibility as well as co-creation, which I thought was a really interesting, for me, a very new idea there around the millennials piece. And that idea of co-responsibility and co-creation led me to the collective responsibility and the circular economy. And I think there were some lovely examples there of things that are really happening on the ground, like Adidas and Timberland and Parley and Too Good to Go. And I think when we think about taking responsibility for the whole, that only really happens and has happened with those organizations because they've made it happen. They've applied thinking and ideology to making that happen, which was a lovely piece around the applied ideology and project management, and that we only really change things on the ground when we focus on the people. And then to me it all came back really to source in Francesca's piece around the context of VUCA, and that ultimately it's all about systems intelligence, and that when we think about the wider perspective, we probably have a much greater opportunity to thrive and prosper in a VUCA world. So two last thoughts really. I loved your redefinition of VUCA to vision, understanding, clarity and agility. It's a lovely piece for me to take away. And lastly, I think for the whole session for me today, Simon had a lovely frame of reference there from Bethany Hughes about the ideas that make us. And I was thinking today that this is a day of ideas that I think do make us. And one idea, if we only go away with one idea that makes a difference that we share with others, to Norman's idea around the wave. This wave will go out into the system. We don't know where it'll go, but there's no doubt it will go. So that was my thought process of the day.
Thank you. Enrique.
See if that works. Yeah. So there's many things to say, and at the same time, difficult to say anything because we've talked a lot, everything has said, but from very far out, the morning was about a lot of theory and a lot of reflection, right? We talked about systems and vertical development and purpose, and all that is just not very much down to earth. It's just philosophy almost, which is nice. But then the afternoon was more applicable, pictures of the planet with plastic, that's real. And about software that measure team performance, performance. We talk about managing change and data analysis, etc. And I think what's interesting is the back and forth of the practice and learning through practice, but also the reflection, those spaces of reflection. And this Congress on itself attracts to a certain type of people, whether you are a CEO, whether you are a practitioner or a consultant, that you are already open and more advanced, let's say, in your thinking, that other people would never spend one full day thinking and reflecting. And whether it's more theory-based, like the morning, and where we talk about some things, although we try to make it very applicable from Norman to Erica to myself about what we say, it's still a bit theoretical and methodology. And then the afternoon is more applicability. And this dance back and forth, I think, is the beauty of the real discovery, of the real learning. And so then as I was writing this, I said, well, what's the real purpose of life? Meaning, what are we trying to do here? So, because we talk about different keywords here, we talk about performance. Where is performance in the purpose of life? Where is work? Where is happiness? Where is purpose? Purpose or mission. So at the end, we go back and forth again into doing the work and eating and enjoying it, and is that real? And then go back and reflecting about how food is processed or go. So I think that we all, as humans, in this meaning making, and I'm right now doing it, trying to make meaning out of this conference, or trying to improve world and life, and don't know how much to say about the individual presentations. Everything has been fantastic from my own point of view. I think a lot of times when we do these speeches, even if we are sort of in this side of the table most of the time, we learn so much from others, colleagues, and sometimes even from our own speeches, just the way we hear ourselves, or people ask us questions about how applicable is that or something. So just thanks for your attention and your participation.
I also just want to thank Joanne for sharing today and keeping us all to time. Very difficult.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Enrique. Thank you to you all. Let me just give you a few words to close. At the early beginning of the morning, maybe you remember that I started explaining why we do this, why we're here, why Pinea3 and the university organize this. And I told you we want to contribute to organizations to survive and to thrive in this world, which is increasingly difficult, which is purpose. But finally, what we want is to help people, to help leaders do better. Simply that's that easy, and also to help you. So that's how we want to end the content with our aim, and that it helped, that you like that it helped, and that you may go out to your places, to your organizations, and expand the wave that Erica just said. So that's on the side of the purpose. Also, we want to give thanks to the university that provided infrastructure, lots of helps that make that possible. On the same time, I had a message from the university saying, thank you guys for staying here. So the university also wants to thank you for giving one day of your work and of your life to stay here, to share all that, and hoping that all that keeps on building something nice, and we enjoyed that and we had fun. Finally, just a few logistic things. If any of you want certificate of assistance that the university will issue that for you. You just have to ask that when coming out. There is a lady on the table, and ask her, please send me a certification of assistance. And in a short time, maybe 1 week, maybe 2, the videos will be uploaded at the website of the university, so you may have it, you may see them, you may... Okay, you will receive an email to say thank you, and probably with the link to the videos. Not sure about that, if it's going to be if it's going to happen at the same time, but we will try. Yeah, maybe you will receive two emails.
You're done. So no, I just had an idea that if any of you have any ideas or requests for the theme of next year's Congress, you may have it now or you may have it in a week. Just send us an email, whoever you have as contact, Joan, Xavi, or less me, because I know the list of you, and just reach out and send us any ideas you have, because then we'll try to make it more relevant to the people that have come, and we'll get enriched. So just as an idea, if there are no ideas, then we'll come up with our own ideas, but maybe there are good ideas out there.
Let me add something to the thank yous. Thank you to all the speakers that you still have here. Erika Findel here, Tobe, Margaret Diblis, Simon Patterson, Gloria Tares, Norman Wolf, I forget someone? No. Okay, Francesca Gavetti, and now I was to the partners of Pinea3, which is Enrique Bernal, Erika Findel, myself, Francesca Gavetti, and Xavier Tarré, who made that possible also. So, and thank you very much to you all. Thank you.